Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to you. We have a very special guest on our show today, Dr. Rohit Bartake. Welcome.
Namaste.
Dr. Bartake is an Ayurvedic doctor with more than 16 years of clinical practice in Ayurvedic and also an Ayurvedic expert qualified from Mumbai. Dr. Bartake is also a certified teacher in Transcendental Meditation. On the 21st of December, we celebrated World Meditation Day for the first time following a United Nations decision. On that occasion, a conference was held at the United Nations in New York. The World Meditation Day was marked worldwide on the 21st of December by a historical 32-hour meditation across all time zones. Dr. Bartake, it is a pleasure having you with us in the studio of the MBC today. So meditation is rooted in ancient cultures dating back to the times of Buddha and even before that. Today meditation is backed with contemporary science. Tell us, what is meditation?
Meditation, in a simple way, if you want to know the definition, it means experiencing the self.
Okay.
You close your eyes, the mind naturally settles down, and then you become one with that one unbounded ocean of consciousness, which is the basis of all the manifest creation. So we call it experiencing the self.
Okay. And how does meditation help in improving the self, improving mental and physical well-being?
Meditation today, specifically transcendental meditation, which I teach, and I have been trained by His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who started his organization in 1958, and now this organization is present in 152 countries of the world teaching this technique. And the speciality of this technique is that it comes from the Vedic tradition of India, which is thousands of years old. At the same time, it has been scientifically validated by the best modern research in 30 developed countries of the world. So it is a lot of scientific evidence how meditation helps.
And who can do meditation? Is there an age where you start doing meditation?
Yeah, this is a good question. Normally, meditation doesn't require any age, and the earlier, the better. So we have techniques which we teach from the age of 4 to 9. We call it eyes open walking technique. And from the age of 10, we start teaching a technique where a person sits, eyes closed, and then he does the regular meditation. So the earlier, the better, because the more you start meditating earlier, the more you are settled, the more you start using your own human potential. So there is no age limit as such. In fact, the earlier you start, you will have more achievements, more satisfaction, more fulfillment in everything that you do in your life.
Dr. Bartake, you're a specialist in transcendental meditation. What is transcendental meditation?
Yeah, this is a good question. Transcendental meditation is a very simple, natural, effortless technique. It is very enjoyable. It is done by sitting eyes closed for 20 minutes, wherever you are, without any particular clothes or a position to sit. It doesn't require change in your belief system and also doesn't require any change in your routine. So it's something where you just sit with eyes closed, and like our mind, we can compare it to the ocean. We are staying in Mauritius Island. So when you look at the ocean, it is very active at the surface. Many waves at the surface. The same way human mind has many thoughts at the conscious thinking level. Always thoughts. One thought comes and goes, like one wave comes and goes on the surface of the ocean. But when you go into the depth of the ocean, it becomes silent. It is the most silent at the bottom. The same way, human mind, if you go into the depth, is silent, and it is the most silent at the bottom.
Ego and superego, right?
Yeah, and transcendental meditation is a technique which allows you to dive. It's like diving into the ocean. You do scuba diving, dive into the ocean, get to the bottom of the ocean, and enjoy the beauty at the bottom of the ocean. Transcendental meditation is a technique that allows you to dive into your own mind, get into the silent areas of the mind, till you reach the bottom and experience the silence. It is very serene, very blissful. And transcendence means going beyond. Going beyond what? Going beyond the source of thought. And then you go beyond the source of thought to experience pure consciousness. That's what we call experiencing the self.
So transcendental meditation, can it be used for people who suffer from amnesia, for example?
Transcendental meditation, as I said, is a very scientifically researched technique. So yeah, surely we can use it for many, many conditions. For example, amnesia for sure, but also we have a lot of research with the American Heart Association, which says there was a research conducted for 25 years in US, and they found out that this meditation technique, compared to all other existing meditation techniques in the world, is 2 times more effective to reduce blood pressure and improve heart health. Today, there are doctors who prescribe this technique as a first line of treatment for early hypertensives and also for diabetes, which we know in Mauritius is now like an epidemic. So the research on diabetes with transcendental meditation shows that the sugar level, the glucose intolerance drops by 44% if you are meditating regularly, because the sugar is said to be more stress-induced diabetes, not necessarily always due to eating more sugar, but it's more due to stress also.
Yeah. And I have also read that some reviews about patients, pregnant women, who did the transcendental meditation and where, you know, the baby was born with...
This is a very nice point you have raised. Actually, if it is, when we teach this technique, we ask pregnant, normally it is done 20 minutes twice a day.
Yeah.
But for pregnant women, we ask them to meditate as much they can. Why? Because when we transcend, when we meditate, as I said, we dive into the self, experience samadhi or pure consciousness, and spontaneously, lot of stress is released. And when you come out, you feel refreshed. If a pregnant woman, because the emotions of the mother directly affect the child and the consciousness of the child. So if the mother is meditating regularly, releasing the stresses, it surely passes all the good vibes to the baby, and the baby is very blissful and healthy with a strong immune system. At the same time, the chances of a normal delivery, for mother, the recovery time, the health of the mother and baby post-delivery also is taken care of. So yeah, it's a very important point for pregnant women. It is a must to meditate because the physical and the mental status of the mother directly affects the child. And we want the child to be more healthy, blissful, and strong in immune system.
So transcendental meditation is like going deep into the self. And what if someone has, you know, problems like depression, anxiety, and things like that? Can it be dangerous for someone to dive too deep, like in the dark places of your mind?
This is another good question. See, have you heard about psychosomatic illness?
Yes.
So this is exactly what you are asking me in terms of stress, tension, anxiety, depression. So today, Ayurveda, I'm an Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurveda always believed all the diseases are psychosomatic, which means first, the mind is affected. You get stressed, you get anxiety, which is very common in today's modern world. But if we don't address this, it gets accumulated, and then you start getting physical problems, like sometimes the blood pressure going high, hormonal imbalance, sugar imbalance, PCOS for women, thyroid imbalance. So all these diseases now, modern medicine is saying 80% diseases are psychosomatic. So coming to your point, yes, when a person is going through stress, tension, and anxiety, it is good to meditate. But if a person is in severe conditions like this, we always need a teacher to monitor the person, and we never stop the medication abruptly. It is the physician who is checking the patient who gradually tapers off. But yes, there is always a chance to improve, reduce the medication, but gradually.
So meditation is also linked with religious beliefs and also with spirituality, right?
Yeah, religion and spirituality is a very different terminology. So transcendental meditation, first of all, has nothing to do with any religion. It comes from the Vedic tradition of India, and Vedic tradition gives techniques which are for the whole humanity, irrespective of the country you live in, irrespective of the religion you follow or the language you speak. That's why today our organization is present, as I said, in 152 countries from Chile to China, irrespective of the religion. So this is beyond religion, it's just a technique. In fact, if you learn transcendental meditation, we have people who share their experiences that they come close to their faith. When I teach in Middle East, They say that when we do our meditation, we enjoy our namaz practice more. Our prayer is more enjoyable. When we teach in Africa, when I teach in East African countries, the Catholics, they say, when we go for the prayers, for the Sunday Mass, we are sitting there and we actually feel connected.
It's like cleansing the body.
Meditation is actually a preparation. Is a preparation for prayer. Because normally when we do prayer, and if we are not meditating, and because we are stressed in today's modern life, we have a lot of thoughts going into the mind. And the purpose of the prayer is actually to connect with the source. So unless you cut that, you cannot connect to the source. Meditation helps you to do that. So we always recommend that you meditate first and then go for your prayer. You will be more relaxed, more settled, and you will enjoy it more.
Okay. So meditation can be done alone, but can also be done in groups and even remotely, like through the internet. So it's like
this is another
popular
good question.
trend. Yeah.
First of all, meditation, when you're doing this technique of transcendental meditation, you don't require any guidance. You are self-sufficient. You just close your eyes and switch off when you are at home in your daily practice. But the group dynamics are very important considering today's situation of the world. We want the world to be a peaceful place to live. So we have Maharishi proposed when he introduced this meditation, which is a Vedic formula, which says if 1% of people in the world are meditating, it is enough to give to release the stress in the collective consciousness of the world. And square root of 1% of advanced techniques of yogic flying in a group with the world population, square root of 1% is enough to give the same effect. Which means today the world population, if it is approximately 8.5 billion, we need 8 to 10,000 people sitting in a group doing yogic flying together in a group to remove the stress in the collective consciousness of the world. Coming to Mauritius. Mauritius population is 1.3 million approximately. So we need 130 people sitting together in one place and doing meditation and advanced techniques of levitation or yogic flying, which will help to remove all the stress. And even the people who are not meditating, we will see the changes in their behavior. And this has been scientifically researched. I'll give you a quick example because this is very timely today with the situation of the world. In Washington, D.C., it was done in 1993-94, this experiment, that in summer season, the crime rate used to go high, and in the winter season, the crime rate used to go low. And this was the pattern for 150 years of the recorded history. So Maharishi chose the specific time, and Maharishi's organization, the scientists, they predicted that this will reduce. So they talked to the police, traffic police, the hospitals. Okay, everyone was told. External scientists, statisticians were appointed. And in front of White House, there was a place where the group of 1%, square root of 1% was there, and they were doing advanced techniques. And what was seen was phenomenal.
So it's
all
like
the trends were reduced. The traffic fatalities went down, the drug-related deaths went down, even the infant mortality rate in the hospitals went down, and the crime rate went down. So this has been done more than 100 times, scientifically proven. If we have a group of people meditating together,
so what I want to say
purifies the atmosphere.
Is like purifying the atmosphere. It's like connecting to the energy, right? It's through energy that this change is being done, isn't it?
So this question brings me to a concept of consciousness. Consciousness is all there is. Everything that we see around us in the manifest creation is actually consciousness manifesting itself in the relative world. So this knowledge of consciousness comes from the Vedic tradition of India. It was introduced by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi to us, and then Maharishi has chosen Dr. Tony Nader, who is a Lebanese neuroscientist, PhD in brain. He is our global head of our organization now, who takes care of all the global activities of meditation going on in the world. Okay? So now, as I said, consciousness is primary. Consciousness is all there is. Through consciousness we actually experience more or less. We understand things around us emotionally, mentally, physically. Without consciousness, we couldn't experience anything. But this consciousness is a very subjective approach. And today's modern physics always believes in an objective approach. So what happens? They always believe some physical reality at the basis of creation. But now when the most advanced branch of physics called quantum physics scientists, they are probing into the reality, and when they go deeper and deeper into atomic, subatomic, nuclear, and they have found an area which is just a field. And they cannot explain these fields because they are beyond the regular laws of physics, beyond time and space, and beyond physical material existence. An ordinary person experiences 3 levels of consciousness: sleeping, waking, and dreaming. Okay? But when you transcend, with transcendental meditation, the mind settles down and you open your awareness to that unbounded ocean of consciousness instantly, and you experience a 4th state of consciousness. And by the way, each of this level of consciousness has a unique way of functioning of the body. So sleeping, waking, and dreaming, a scientist sitting in another room can find out just by looking at the pattern of the behavior of the brain, breathing pattern, okay, heartbeats, he can find out whether the person is sleeping, waking, or dreaming. But when we transcend, it has been found out it is different from sleeping, waking, and dreaming. You are experiencing a 4th state of consciousness,
so you have
which is more relaxed way of breathing. And what happens when you meditate? What happens is when your brain becomes coherent and the atmosphere around you, you start affecting the atmosphere around you. And when you are in the group, when you are in a bigger group, actually the group dynamics works better. So they say in family, if there are 4 people, just one person meditating is enough to change the behavior of the remaining 3. The same way in a society, 1% or square root of 1% doing yogic flying is enough to give the same effect, because they start purifying the consciousness. We work at the root of life, that is consciousness. Okay. So this is one of the technologies of consciousness that we use to purify the atmosphere around us so that everyone lives happily and in a positive way.
Okay. And meditation is also one way of activating the chakras. So how do you activate chakras, and what are chakras basically?
See, the science of chakras is a very deep science. But when we are teaching meditation to a general public, we normally don't go into too much technicalities of it, because the activation of the chakras which you're talking about and everything positive that is going to happen is just a side effect of the meditation. We don't think much about it. We don't get attached to it because there are many more levels we have to achieve. So we keep it simple. We just close our eyes. Morning and evening is just 20 minutes morning, evening, and then we come out and do our activity. Because we don't meditate for the sake of meditation. The purpose of the meditation is to make your activity better. Whatever profession you are an anchor, you are reading the news, you are in a profession where you are doing some more intellectual work in a school, you are teaching, you are a teacher. So the purpose of the meditation is that your mind is like formatting the computer. There's too much information going in. So we need to format our brain, remove the unwanted stuff, and come out more refreshed with more integrated brain functioning, and we do our professional things better. So purpose of the meditation is to have a good dynamism and we can say good fruits in our professional life. And all the chakras, what you're talking about, and the kundalini and all this will be naturally taken care of. There is no need for you to put your attention there.
Okay. So meditation has become very popular the world over. And in India, there's also an Ayush ministry which has been created for traditional medicine and also for meditation.
Yeah.
So, what does the
there used to be a department of Ayush, but since our Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, Shri Narendra Modi ji, when he came, he understood the value of these ancient practices and he made a proper ministry. And this ministry now is helping to restore not just Ayurveda, all Ayurveda, Siddha, homeopathy, yoga, meditation, to restore, to revive, and to scientifically do some research so that the world starts to accept it. And because of his efforts, now we have the International Yoga Day. So the whole world is now connected through yoga. Now it is International Meditation Day. So meditation is a gift to the whole world from Ved Bhumi Bharat. It comes from the Vedic civilization. But it is again universal. Doesn't matter where you live, which country you belong to, which language you speak, which religion you follow. Vedic means universal, applicable for everyone at any given time. And that's why we have our organization functioning from Chile to China.
Okay, so we are approaching the end of our program. What would you tell people to encourage them to do meditation?
See, I would like to speak in the context of Mauritius today.
Exactly.
Because I have been practicing in Mauritius. I have my AyurVeda center and a meditation center where I see different variety of patients or people who want to be healthy. By the way, one more thing which we missed in our conversation is regarding reversal of aging.
Yeah. Oh.
So we have a research with transcendental meditation which says if you are meditating regularly for 5 years, just 20 minutes twice a day, the biological age is reversed up to 10 to 12 years, which means you start feeling more healthy and more young.
Does it show also?
And it reflects on your face. It reflects in your behavior, in the energy levels. And why this happens is it's very scientific. Any system, any machine, for example, you have the best car and you are just going around, taking it round and round the island without stopping it, without servicing it. At some point, it will break down, no matter how good company the car is, which good brand the car is, doesn't matter. Yeah. So any machine requires servicing, it requires to be rest. So human body also requires the rest. Sleep is a good way to rejuvenate, but good quality sleep is very rare because when we are not meditating, we are using sleep to release stresses and the process of rejuvenation doesn't work. So what happens when you are meditating? You meditate, during those 20 minutes, you remove the deep-rooted stresses from your system. As a result, the system, the vital organs of your body, for example, heart. Heart never gets rest in our day-to-day life. But during meditation, the respiratory rate drops down from normal 16 to 18 breaths per minute to 15 to 14 based on how regular you are in your practice. And when the respiratory rate goes down, the heart also gets rest for that particular time. Like this, all the vital organs get rest. And as we know, the rest is a basis of activity. You give good rest to your system, your activity will be better and you will last longer. So this was regarding reversal of aging. Coming to the context of Mauritius, what I have seen in this beautiful paradise is that today in the modern world, there are few issues pertaining to, we call them non-communicable diseases, NCDs. It's like an epidemic in a small island with a small population, but a huge number of people with NCDs.
Yeah.
What are NCDs? Diabetes, blood pressure, also hormonal imbalances, infertility, thyroid imbalances. All these conditions, NCDs, can be prevented by just modifying our lifestyle, by changing the way we live. As an Ayurvedic doctor, I would say our dinacharya or daily routine, the quality of sleep we take, also what time we eat and what we eat. At the same time, for the mind, meditation, like transcendental meditation we say, is a bath of mind. For those 20 minutes, like we take a physical bath every day, so that we have sweated throughout the day, even in the evening, we just get refreshed, clean our body physically. Meditation is a quick bath of your mind. You refresh and come out. But as a result, it has been scientifically proven. It helps you to be younger. It helps you to reverse the diseases. For students who are in the school, it helps them to have a good integrated brain functioning. That's why today, in 80 countries of the world, we have this program introduced. We call it consciousness-based education, where children coming to school meditate. Before going home, they meditate, and it changes the whole pattern of the school. The behavior of the children is better. The drugs in the school goes less. The chances, the tendency to go towards negative trends is reduced, and it creates a positive vibe around the child, so that he is not affected by any negativity around him, which is very timely in Mauritius. Yeah. So considering the senior population with non-communicable diseases and considering the children who should be now protected from the negative trends happening in the society, transcendental meditation is something that parents can teach their children and empower them to be self-sufficient, so they don't worry much about the child, because the child will never go towards negative tendency. Okay. And for parents, it will help them to have a strong immune, stay younger for longer time, and for senior citizens, in case they have some diseases, they can be maintaining their good health by minimum dose of their medicines. So every strata of the population. For children, it's going to be beneficial. For middle age, so that they don't age faster. And for the old age, to maintain the quality of life.
Dr. Rohit Bartake, thank you very much for having been with us in the studio of the MBC. Well, good night.
And thank you for having me here and allowing me to share this knowledge, which has always been there. It has been in Mauritius for many years, but we want the young generation now to understand the value of it and empower the nation, because the youth is the future of the country, and we want the young generation to be more healthy, to be more focused, and make the country more proud. Thank you.
Dr. Rohit Bartake, thank you very much
Namaste.
for your presence
Jai
in the
Guru.
studio of the MBC. Goodbye.